Ta-da! Flat of British. Martin speaking. Welcome, guys. Still here. Flat of British and Bookage. This will be an exciting vlog. This is going to blow your minds, but not in ways that you would expect. Okay, guys. This is going to be an unusual vlog. They usually are, but this one will be more unusual. Okay, so brace yourselves. Welcome. I'm happy that we're all still here. Some of my emails in the last week have been like, oh my days, I can't believe how you guys think about me. It's just incredible. Some people like literally just really upset that, that this might go. Okay, so let's be grateful. Okay, let's just ride it and fight on. Okay, fight on for a better day for everyone. Okay, everyone, everywhere. Peace and love, peeps. Before we start, right, we're going to look into a lot of stuff today, guys. I've got a lot of juice. Okay, but we're going to look into the narrative. If you look at my title for my video, City of Giants. Now, what I'm going to propose with some evidence, okay, is that St. Petersburg, okay, was an old world city, okay, that was built for giants, okay, that got inundated in mud, okay, and then later on, after the events, Phoenicians come in, dig the mud out, okay, and then they make it a very important port, which Phoenicians do, like Venice, etc. So we're going to look at that, okay, which is highly interesting when I show you. Okay, we're going to look into a load of strange alchemical books and Middle Ages books, a gathering of from antiquity, which are very unusual. Everything is very unusual, you will see. Okay, we're going to look into, I'll explain as I'm going, okay, about the narrative, but we're going to look into missing peoples also. The fact that after these events, they clean these cities up, they dig the mud out, they Phoeniciify buildings, make them Baroque or Greco-Romano outside of Italian aesthetics, alter everything and put in their presence, their vibration on all of the buildings. Okay, but what you do find is there's no people. And not only in St. Petersburg, but in a certain narrow window of time that we don't know when it is. Okay, but they say late 1800s. There's nobody at home. I mean, nothing. Not dog, not cat, not person, not cat, nothing is around in a city with second biggest city in Russia, okay, is empty. Russia at some stage is empty. I've shown this on my vlogs many times, and many more cities. We'll have a little look at that in case you didn't know, and the narrative for what we think is going on. Okay, now before we get underway, and loads of words, etymologies, everybody contribute to the Great Five of British Think Tank. Okay, just any ideas what you think is going on. Okay, everyone is piecing this together as a great big brain. Okay, it's working very, very beautifully. Okay, unselfish sharing of information. Okay, and comment what you think. Okay, I try my best to get through them all. So that's me. Now, in my emails, I get a lot of people emailing me a lot. Okay, and I do my best. I spend a lot of time on these emails, but I get a lot of people confiding me. Okay, trust me. And I have people that pour their heart out to me, tell me they're worth shit. Okay, I get a lot. I'm grateful that people do that, and I try to help with, my knowledge and experience of what I've gained in this place, which I hope is quite a bit. I've done quite a bit in my life, so I hope that, I can help in some way. So that happens a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do something similar. This is what you guys do with me. Okay, it is to be open and honest, which I do all the time anyway. In fact, everything is all on my channels about my whole life, all on my sleeve for everyone. Okay, the haters have had a fucking field day and still are. Okay, this year has been a rocky ride. Okay, last year was by far the worst year of my existence, but on the other side, some brilliant things happened concerning Flat Earth and the discoveries on Great Flat Earth British think tank. Things got very big in no time at all. This subject is massive in certain countries. In Russia, millions watch this. They love this subject, and many more countries are seeing what we're seeing, and it's a mind-blowing thing. Okay, there's definitely more than just Flat Earth. Okay, there's the whole picture, false paradigm, the lot. So, going on that note of open honesty, which we practice here on Flat Earth British. Okay, we chuck all our egos aside. Ego the destroyer. He seems to get in the way. See this quite a bit. Whatever. Now, my book. Got a box arrived. I pretend to do a deboxing, okay, because they go viral. That ain't Flat Earth British is deboxing his books. Look, it hasn't been opened. And this box of books, okay. Here it is. Flat Earth British, The Holy Grail of the Flat Earth by Martin Leaker. It's a beautiful book, guys. The thing is, I did a little, some of the intros and that from you guys, UAP, John Levy, Mel, and Febbage, Lee, Flat Earth British sub. Brilliant friends, all. Okay, guys, they done beautiful introductions and that. And when I'm reading this, like when it turns out, I'm getting like waves and buzzes, and I thought, I've never had this from any religious text. It's important. The information is important. Okay. Now, this year, okay, has been an uphill battle. It's been a game of snakes and ladders. It has. Okay. So let's get right up there. Okay. Get up to 30,000 subscribers. Maybe 250,000 to going up to 500,000 views a month at some stage. It was insane in no time at all. Okay. This was finite. Okay, we all knew it. Every single day I woke up, I expected to go to my computer, as all of us do, and not see it there anymore. Exactly the same as what I did this morning. Okay, this is not easy. Okay, so we plow ahead. Okay, and we know that this is dangerous. We know that I'm going to get messed with. No, I get everything, guys. I get trolled. I get videos made about all sorts of nasty scenarios about me. Okay, guys, which is just insane. Okay, if you only knew. Okay, I get death threats. I've had them for years. I'm a flat earther. Okay, and there's nothing that rattles people more than saying the earth is flat. Isn't that the strangest of things when we're only talking about what we're standing on? Yet, people get really rattled going on that. Okay, so I presumed at some stage that I would be hacked or just taken out by YouTube. I got both. I got hacked, okay, by apparently Russia, ends up in South Korea. You all know the story. YouTube had my channel, okay. They tell me they're going to give it back. So apparently I'm going to get all my shit back. Think I might have had to tip off from my hire Martin saying, yeah, it's before Christmas. So I'm going to go with that, okay? Because usually that voice never lets me down, okay? The hire Martin, okay? My intuition that lets me know before things go down, okay? Precog. So, my book, okay. So I spent most of the summer, as you all know, guys, working on this, finding inspiration on the road, making documentaries and bringing this subject forward to a wider audience. But I get taken out, as you know. And my other two channels also, very short time later, I build them up, put videos on them. They get flagged, and again, and they get taken out. They're still out there, weirdly, but I have no access to them, okay, blocked from them. This I set up again in October, and we ploughed ahead, trying again, okay, from the very bottom, 0 subs, up to what is coming up to 8,000 since 3 months, coming up to 3 months. We tried again, okay. My publisher, for this book, she got hacked. So the book got scrambled and we lost months and had to start all over again. Okay. Now, I'm not suspicious, but it seems like somebody out there, okay, doesn't like this information. I'm just getting that feeling. Okay. Now, the book is in material form. See if any of you hear about this, right? This is flat earth proof, undeniable, right, guys? This has been designed that way. Okay, it can't be debunked. Okay, defy anyone, please try. Okay? See if you hear about this anywhere out there. Okay? In the scene. Now, not that I can see anything, my eyes are to shit, my eyesight. So Martin Liga, okay, that's me, okay. My legal name fiction, okay, which I've been happy about, is leads in light and puts his neck on the line for truth. There's never a truer word said. So, going on that, this is where I am at now, after my really tough year. Everything else has happened. So where do you think we got to? We got to the stage that I had a very anomalous phone call. Okay, guys, from a government official. And this government official was really, really rattled, upset, in a bad temper, raising his voice, shaking, stammering, and started the conversation with, do you know the words flat and earth? As far as I know, I don't think that's allowed. You know, if should have been, what about YouTube? Okay, as far as I know, you know, what if my YouTube channel was called Black Rights? What if the conversation opened with, I've got 2 words for you, black and rights? Would that be admissible? Would that be allowed? So I experienced this phone call, and this was the scenario. Somebody has reported me for basically collecting rent for my flat to keep a roof over my head, because you can't basically rely on any month. You know, some months I don't have any donations or gifts, and I would not be able to carry on going. Okay, I have no family around me, and I would be on the street. So I've been having nasty threats, and I've been investigated, okay, for apparently Flat Earth and my channel and me. Okay, in the meantime, they have stopped everything. They've stopped my rent. Okay, so that's not being paid. So this is my plan. Okay, this is my plan. I've got to make this work, guys. Okay, otherwise I am going to be on the streets. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to have an interview about business with Business Wales this week. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I have a job as well, 2 days a week as a beekeeper, voluntarily. I'm going to have a rethink about that, actually, because I'm giving a lot of my time up for free work to give back to the community, which is what I was doing at the time, helping a lot of people like I do all the time anyway, like with my life. That is what I do, help people. Anyway, so I have got an interview with Business Wales. I'm known a business, Flat Earth British. It's already there. We have a book, we have amazing resources, websites, and hopefully my channel back, and then we'll have a couple of channels also as a format, if it carries on YouTube, that is. So that is my plan. Okay, guys. Now, if that don't work out, okay, and the book doesn't work out, okay, which I think it will, because it's a mind blast. So I, can't put, all my hopes into one thing, because I gotta survive, you see. So if nothing comes off in the next few weeks, then I'm gonna have to go and drastically look for work in a city that hasn't really got any work. Okay, at 52. So I have to try and do that. Otherwise, I'm out. Okay, I have nowhere to go, no family. Lee, Flat Earth British sub, one of the only people I've actually told, apart from a UAP, who said, tell everyone, Matt, because you've put it all out there anyway. There's nothing hidden here. No, there hasn't been anything hidden here. Okay, but you can see what they're trying to do. Okay, to me, again. So that is the score. And that is where Flat Earth and this information and this book and this year and getting really popular and Tataria and Mudflood has arrived me at. Shock, I know. Right before Christmas. Yeah. So that's ongoing, guys. I will keep you informed all the way of you know, how this is going to be progressing, but you know, it's trying to drop my vibration and trying to make me depressed. It's not going to be working. Threatening to, you know, finish you off, okay, because that's basically what it feels like. That's what it is actually. It's not nice, okay. It's not nice. So that's what I've been up to this week. Some people were feeling that I was not my jolly happy self on my last vlog, and that is why. Okay, whether or not somebody made a phone call or they just seen me on YouTube, but this guy really doesn't like flat earth. Why do people get so rattled and have to shout about it? Why don't they just research and look into it like the rest of us did? It's just, hey ho, information, guys, information. Okay, peace and love. Don't worry about me, please. I know a lot of you do. God, Stacy, my friend from Massachusetts, yesterday, really upset. Everyone just so upset in case I was going. So, for that alone, I just got to fight on. Keep this going, okay, guys. Great Flat Earth British think tank has to carry on. Just has to. So let's look into this guy. He's Peter the Great. He's a giant, actually, guys, and basically he's attributed to building the amazing St. Petersburg, which is a mind blaster of a city. Okay, he literally dies of apparently gonorrhea, but some sort of urinary tract disease. It sounds a bit like, I don't know, sounds a bit like a STD to me, but who knows. But anyway, so what you find with this dude is he wants to make a giant maritime empire to rival Britain's. Okay, he takes Russia away from their ways into westernization. Okay, so from 1672 to 1725 ruled as Zadom of Russia, okay, and later the Russian Empire, okay, with the taking out of Tartaria, or the last remnants of, as we know. Okay, so he expands it. Okay, he wants to make his a large Baltic fleet, and this very important bit here, the westernization. Okay, process whereby societies under or adopt Western culture in areas such as industry, technology, politics, and economics. So the Age of Enlightenment, intellectual philosophy, movements that dominated the world. So you can see where they're going and what paradigm they're on. So he introduces this, he changes the architecture, they mention as well. So he's attributed to building this beautiful place. Okay, so he's highly interested in life. He seems a bit of a rotter along the way. There is narratives out there for the 10 naughtiest things that he's done, which is quite a few apparently. Okay, what a tatter eyes, vaguely tatter eyes. So Turkish ethnic group living mainly in Tatarstan. So he has Tatarian eyes and he's a giant. That's interesting. Let's have a look. So they say he's a bit of a rotter. There's a few narratives, but he ends up going at 1711. Peter moves to Russian capital city from Moscow to St. Petersburg, his namesake saint. And the city is founded in 1703, and it is the westernmost coast of the Baltic and solidifies the country's newfound rights to the waterway. So it's very important maritime port, and it looks a bit like Venice. And they've had wars, they tell you about the wars with Sweden, etc. So quite an interesting narrative, but I'm not really interested in official narratives. But Peter himself, when he's building this great civilization, city, second biggest, you know, in Russia, with massive monuments, him himself lives in a log cabin. This is not the log cabin. The log cabin has been removed. We have no photographs of the original log cabin. Now, what I'm wondering about this log cabin is it's just only small, isn't it? It's not that big. Okay? It's not that big. And there's a statue of Peter. Okay. So I guess it's just a dasher, isn't it? But Peter, okay. Where is he? Peter, he's a giant. He is 2 meters something tall, so 7 foot tall. He's 7 foot tall. Excuse me. Let me put that back. Peter the Great. Height. He's 2 meters 3, so that is just short of 7 foot, isn't he? So he's a giant, and also his replacement, Nicholas I of Russia, is also at 2 meters 5. Oh, in my mind, that's really, really, really tall, isn't it? Do you see many 7-footed people around? So he's a giant. Excuse me. He lives in a log cabin where a giant really wouldn't live. That's been moved from the original site on the river, and you can see what the original cabin. I'm wondering why this guy, who's an elite, who's living in lavish luxury, okay, building lavish luxury, is living in a shitty log cabin, okay, which is inside here. This isn't it. This is it protected. There's a 7-footer guy living in there. Okay, a 7-footer guy. Don't know what happens when he stands up. So he's living in there, okay, and he's building the Winter Palace, okay, which in turn, like all these cities and all these narratives, which are pretty identical, you can follow this same narrative I'm telling you now for St. Petersburg, for all of them. Same era, same time. Let's have a look at this. Winter Palace. Well, it's all windows, all buried. And we're going to look at this, say, 120, 30 years before this photograph, and we'll see the difference. Okay, for the Phoenician statues and their style of architecture. Okay, so, excuse me. It's terrible stormy in the UK. It's nasty, really nasty. So he's building all this, living in a log cabin, so they say. They got canals that go 1,000 miles across Russia from here. Got giant ports, Kronstadt, builds the navy in, builds the Winter Palace, builds the Hermitage next door. And there's the first Winter Palace, designed in 1711 for Peter the Great. Okay, and it's just this really small but yet mud-flooded dwelling. And it looks like Venice. Same Greco-Romano features, same little Dutch bridges, canals that go on forever, important to the Phoenicians, and monster high ceilings and stairwells and opulence, all Phoenician. It's absolutely mind-blowing. What's that called? Jordan's Staircase. Feast of Epiphany. Tsar descends the staircase. Stunning. And it's built for giants. Giant doors, giant windows, giant ceilings. People are only like this big. And this is inside the Winter Palace. Ugh. And this, look at this. Wow, look at the floor. Technasmia lines, flower of life. Juicy. Ah. And chandelier tech. So yeah, westernization is what he did with this whole place. I think you've got the same theme replicated right the way across Christendom is what you got. I've seen the same for everywhere really. Same MO, same story, all terrain. Look at this. This. And he's attributed to, there's in the narrative, if you read about the building of all of this, it was altered from a traditional Russian style to Greco-Romano Baroque. And there it is on fire. It burns down in the 1800s. And they get instantly rebuilt and everything's brand new again. Unless something actually happened around that time. But just insane opulence. Anyway, these giant men holding up this door arch you see all the time in this field. They're giants here in St. Petersburg. Okay. There's our Nicholas, and Tsar Nicholas II with Tsarina, and they are Romans. The Roman offs. The Romans, guys. The Tsars. The Tsars of the sea. Caesars. Impostors all. Phoenicians. There they are. Mocking. Demonic faces. Looking down on the crowd. Just mocking. I guess there's been to palace was turned into hospitals in the First World War. First World War. Maybe in the siege of Leningrad, where I'll just touch upon a little bit. It's just insane. But the size of it, look at it. So yeah, he's a 7-footer. All of the columns are absolutely massive. Look at these. These are the German soldiers. Oh, Russian soldiers, excuse me. They didn't get in. Leningrad was not taken in World War II. It was sieged for the longest time. And he just never took it. Hitler thought it would be better just to starve out the population. Most significant port on the Baltic. It just doesn't ring true to me. And the coat of arms. Orb sector, 2 opposing eagles. Zap. And the coat of arms for Leningrad. Or St. Petersburg. Fish heads. The grapple and the anchor. Look at it. Jeez. So he's a happy chappy. And that's all that stuff you've been finding, isn't it? So yeah, we move on. And they had a great fire of 1873. Okay, the narrative is just silly as the cow that caused the Chicago fire, or Pudding Lane for the Great Fire. Okay, the fire broke out after smoke from an unswept chimney, okay, had swept through an unchoked vent in a partition between the wooden and main walls of the Marshall Fields Hall. How could they even know that? What did they have, like fire detectives come in and reverse engineer how that happened? The dry waxed floors and the oil painting caught fire immediately. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Because everywhere we see in antiquity, you've got a big smacking great oil painting over your giant fireplaces. Well, they go up, do they? Okay. Well, they're atmospheric fireplaces anyway, or plated steam powered, different tech going on. We know. Anyway, so yeah, and they get built in right the year after. No problemo. And then it's all brand new again. Okay, but you get to St. Petersburg like 1800s, and it looks like all the mud's just been removed, and there's not a soul around. It's just mud, no infrastructure, no pavements, lampposts as such. You get a few of these obelisks, but you don't get any, infrastructure. There's one boat. Greco-Romano temples there. But you don't get any smoke. I guess it's cold in St. Petersburg in the winter. You don't get any people. Dogs, cats, washing, pigeons. You always get pigeons round roofs. You don't get pigeons here in St. Petersburg at this period. Nah. Nothing. But look at the size of these. Imagine how deep they actually go. Built for events, I think. I think when they have, the water comes in, they could have it up here and then go in through that door there, just like Venice. I think it's built on a Venetian theme. And this is the quality we're talking about. Look at it. You always get these little sentry boxes, but he's the only chap around. It's the military. You don't get any people. Cat. And you can't really get me on the the time it takes to develop or produce a film in this era, because I have 1840s photographs in HD, crystal clear, moving images. So the time needed to take a clear photograph in this era thing wasn't existing 60-70 years before. Oh, beautiful home. Oh, sorry, Oregon State Building. Yeah, they got a Greco-Romano temple there, and they told you they built it in the Victorian era. One of these, exactly the same in Columbus Square, and they got one in San Francisco. You can see it on a fire. They repeat the same obelisks, same decoration on their Phoenician water fountain, Aquatech. So yeah, we got people at this stage. A bit later. Further different set of photos. Don't know where that is, I'm very sorry. And look at it, it's just like Venice. And these canals, they go on the lower windows, mud flooded. Okay. And you get these things as well, which we often think are electrostatic charge gatherers, because the lower ones are for telegraph. And these ones never have got wires on them. They have U-bends and little ceramic balls on the ends, like superconductors. Look at this. But they got pavements. Okay, they're getting on. So, not really sure where the wires are. They might not be showing up, but again, absence of wires. So that's another thing that we proposed in the Golden Age of Tartaria, that they were using free energy, Aquatech, and life, they tell you, well, they like to tell you now, has never been so good. No, I think it was a lot better years ago. I was downloading, I was going to present them on this video, pick images of Tartarian massive buildings in my city in Cardiff, like the old Queen Street railway station and manager's office, which are like palaces, and they knocked on town and put a Greg's Bakery there. There was this massive thing that looked like a temple on Westgate Street when I was a kid. The thing used to make me dizzy looking up at it. I was thinking, that's like the biggest building ever. And then knocked it down when I was little and put a like, really crappy multi-storey car park there in grey concrete. And they keep doing it. They could take away the beauty and the beautiful architecture, and they put up rubbish. And it's not there's anything wrong with these buildings. These buildings, you can't even replicate the technology in them. They're just that good. Look at this. Huh? And an old Starford system. Energy gatherers. And this is an old depiction I've shown many times. But what it does show is, you can't see the top, is a lighthouse that's zapping some sort, using electric. Some sort of dragon. But I think the dragon might be some sort of boatage. There it is. So this lighthouse gives off zapping beams. It's electromagnetic. But check out all the buildings in the background. You know, this era is just nuts. Well, anything looks like this now. Twin Towers of Tartaria, somebody posted about. That was really good. Paris, after the insurrection of 1871, the Franco-Prussian War, when the entire city is destroyed, missing all of its existing expositions, and the later one just after all the land was cleared out of the way, everything's back up, running, no problemo. Same for San Francisco, no problemo. Chicago, Boston, Seattle, no problemo, up and running. So yeah, energy gatherers, they're like power stations. Look at this one. Whew. So it's built for giants is what I'm saying. And then Peter the Great is one. I'm not actually sure if he's a Phoenician or a Tartarian with MIs. Tartarais from Turkestan or Tartarstan. So yeah, he's a Tartar. Haven't got Phoenician nose. So anyway, what about the city of Leicester? Does that mean less tar? Less tar. Well, cities with ham on the end, like Nottingham, or I was going to say Southampton, but that's town. Places with ham on the end. Is that ham as in ham in the Bible? Because you do know, Cain, okay, who came out with apparently Noah's Ark, which in our mind and our sort of unveiling is not that great time ago in antiquity, that flood. And he was not on his own, and there was not one boat. Okay, but apparently Cain, who was apparently big, married a Phoenician. Okay, so Canaanites, Phoenicians, and all sort of started there soon after the flood. A lot of the world still underwater. America, no. A lot of that was still under the water until what they call 1400s. Italy too, large parts of Europe. All our water recedes and they get back on their feet by what they call the Renaissance. But not fully. It takes time. There's still evidence, clear evidence, up until 1733 we see in lead atlases. So yeah, the siege of Stalingrad. So Hitler just doesn't go into the city. He just bombs it ceaselessly forever and starves out the population. Apparently they're all eating sawdust and stuff. Okay, and everyone's dead in the street, but the whole city survives. But he doesn't want to move in there. Why? It's because it's so important. The biggest seaport in the Baltic, most important, and he just wastes all them resources, bombing it ceaselessly, feeding 500,000 men at that front, just to keep on bombing the shit out of Leningrad. If he doesn't take it, ruins architecture, because that's mainly what it's about. Because that was an important part he could have done with that. You know, Germany was stuffed for well, then that's maybe what it was, because their navy couldn't even leave really. And sorry, just went miles away looking at the siege. I've read quite a few books about the siege of Leningrad. And the Hermitage Museum's next door to the Winter Palace. Apparently when it went up in flames, he said, not any one bit of this stuff must be destroyed. It belongs to my missus, the Tsarina. So like he was basically getting people to just run into fire, grabbing shit out, dying, burning all that caper to get all the good stuff. But the Hermitage never burnt down. No, it was fine. So they need a lot of this. And they got some treasures. It's all Fabergé eggs we've looked into. It's all on my last channel. Fine art. Very nice. Very nice. Look at this. Is that jade? Ming Dynasty vase. What are they, like 1 billion? And I guess this is the Hermitage. It's changed. What's the ball? Crazy. I wonder what that is. So, Peter the Great Giant, he's 2 meters tall. His rival is also 2 meters tall, or his predecessor is 2 meters tall. So the Giantich, he seems to be a Tartar. Yet he's from Tatarstan. Yet he's got Tartar eyes. Yet he builds a maritime nation and builds Phoenician, Greco-Romano buildings, and tells you in the narrative that they're taking out the Russian field. About it all. So 2 meters 3. Shitski. Who knew? Yeah, that's quite a good narrative. And he lives in a log cabin. And he builds a winter palace, but he lives in a log cabin. There's been some events. Okay. It all burnt down. It's all better again. And they got Antiquitech all over Russia, which have been taken away. And the Germans didn't want to take Leningrad at all. They want to lose 1 million men down in another snowy, non-important place with no military significance at all, which is Stalingrad. You know, split 2 armies in 2, lose 1, and so like really ending the war for Hitler. It's a bad decision, that was. Or was it? Dun dun dun. And that's what he does. So, do you buy in any of that? Do you think it was all built in 1800s? Late 1700s? See what? Right, these are pretty funky. More Kirshner books, but this one is A Journey Through Tartar China. So it gives you what the Tartars are up to, okay, in the past. And it's just Tartar, because there's the wall apparently. Or is that the wall? So there's Tartaria. And the Chinese. Okay. And it's a cursed Jesuit book. We're going to fly through a few. Okay, Society of Christ. And that man got some information about the Tartars. So let's have a look at them. So we've got some Tartar maps. All of this is Tartar. Okay. In 1600s. And they're going there to convert them. Okay. You must convert away from your ways. Come to see things our way. Giant heads. But he's keeping his head down, because you got to respect them. The big heads. I guess these are Tartars. They don't even look Chinese. Somebody was doing. I was in my comments last night. We were on about ginger people. Ginger people. Not my hair. In the sun. I was talking to a girl yesterday, not Rosa. She had ginger hair in the sun, or red, but she's dark hair, brown hair. Mine's brown hair, but in the sun it looks a bit ginger, even purple. And my eyes change colour as well, so that's weird. So we were on about ginger people, and they found skeletons of giant ginger people in Mongolia, in China, in New Zealand, in Peru as well, all over the world. This race of tall ginger people which are on the plane, and you see them in these books that we decode about, you know, North America and even South America, Brazil, Colombia, etc., where these people are tall and ginger, although in a lot of cases they have cannibalistic it looks at some period in the past following events. Everyone just, there's a whole death cult running the place, you can witness here. Okay, and everything just turns to poo in no time. So there's a multi-headed thing. I don't know if it's Buddhist or Hindu or what have you, but you're going to get this with the Phoenicians. It's like multi-facets of personality, or multi-dimensional. Maybe they're doing that shifting thing that they do. I don't know. So, and then big heads, which in this case, if he's talking on a box, this one's full, and he's not a giant, he is. Really weird. Romano. Uvafu. Let's have a look here. We got some star footage. I don't know where that is. We got some star footage type thing in China. Giants. Cool. They exist in China, and they walk around. Wow, they're big, aren't they? Nice to meet you. Seem very friendly. Any more giants? We get a lot. We've seen quite a few in this part of the world. Or is that a little girl mummy? Can we go to the sweet shop? This one's got that plate on their head, like the Hebrews wear that plate on their chest. Better have that rent for me. Mummy, can we go to the sweet shop? Let's have a look. And they got giant lizards, giant serpentage. Now that can't be a pearl, because there's no oyster that big. Look at this. Carpets up the wall, carpets on the floor. And a dog. Yeah, they got some style, haven't they? It's really sumptuous. And he's glowing, because he's got this orb, which can't be a pearl, by the way, because it's too big. It's cat-backed, so I don't know what's happening. That's tigers. Somebody get him. Oh, they're battering tigers. So it's a cat with breasts that looks like a bat. So is this a real thing? It looks like it eats rats. Are they rats? And what are they eating? He's been nailed to the thing. It's dead. It's been nailed. Ugh. Look what we caught. No, that ain't weird, guys. Whew. Catus volus. dictator. So yeah, he's a Jesuit doing a bit of taking his ideas to this part of the world. Okay. We got a guest. That's coming. Have you met King Fam? Have you met King Fam? Well, you're gonna meet him now. Say hi. We'll have a chat with him later. Okay? Stop scratching. So, we'll talk to him a bit later. I'm not sure. So, Tartaria. So, they got the silks going on. They still got to plough by hand. But the earth's so nice, it just comes up really easy. Everything looks so nice, the silks. How do they get that stuff together? What about this? Pyramid. In the mud. No path. I couldn't even put what type of religion that is, but it's a step pyramid, so step pyramid technology. Higher and higher it goes. What are they? Lights? Answers on a postcard, be a P.O. box, flat of British. Comment. What do you think these are? Energy gatherers. I know they are on you because they made a porcelain. We pulled that apart years ago. Oh, okay. So they got a Vajra. This giving off electromagnetic power because Vajra is a weapon. And it's active in this, so that's pretty cool. Vajra tech. Okay. So this is that cult. It's instantly identifiable as the salt cults, the Phoenicians or the Babylonians. Sol. It's a bit like a many-handed Krishna dude, isn't it? He's in blue, by the way. Not purple, just blue. So, I was thinking about that, because when I was young, I was really mad into Krishna consciousness. I used to chant regularly and all of that. But then I was thinking about, the Society for Krishna Consciousness, how they grew so big. And then I realised it was centrally controlled, and Swami, etc. And they're all dressed in orange, aren't they? They are, aren't they? So yeah, I think it's definitely Phoenician controlled, as most centralized control religions. So I don't know what this is. It's an idol, Phoenician shell, sol, lily maybe, and a little human being. Oh, it's so strange. That looks like Michelangelo's. Da Vinci's, it is, it's double Taurus. Bruma. These acupuncture points, I'm guessing. Fucking hell, this is stunning. Are they on the waves? I guess so, because they've got white seahorses. So they're on the waves. Flower comes up on the waves, and then there's a deity on there. Yeah. And acupuncture points, I reckon. Wow! Imagine him turning up. Whoa. Just like that with his hands, and then he's just chopping them all off. Boom, 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 boom. All his hands. But he's only got a scepter. But it's electromagnetic, so he's zapping him, isn't he? Wow. That'd be freaky if that turned up, wouldn't it, guys? Imagine the speed it's going at too. Anyway, what we got here? Oh my days. So it is the Hindus, and it's in China as well. It's same old. This is their version. It's the same people, same narrative, and this is a fish spitting out some sort of deity. In this case, it's Apollo. Or Babylon, Statue of Liberty, guys, recognise it. Many hands, and it's coming out of a whale or a fish. So somebody who's been swallowed by a whale, and has been spat out onto the land. Anybody? Yeah, that's right. Jonah and the whale, because it's the same story. So, some kingage going on. Oh my days. So as I said, at this period there's a mass death cult going on. Is that a UFO or a bell? I hope that's a bell. So he's got a small thing on there. Could be a homunculus though. And that guy's, oh my days, imagine him turning up. His head's turning around like really, really quick. So quick you can't see him. And he's doing that like, I got really, really loads of hands. How many pairs of hands? 8. We'll give him 8. 4 aside. 4 aside. 4 hands. 4 hands. 4 hands, 4 dicks. And he's ripping somebody's guts out, yeah? Or is he giving him like, is it, hang on, I'll save him. But he's a dog head. He's a king dog head. And he's a giant king dog head. Here, sire, let me cool you down. Yeah, this killing business is really, really hot and sweaty. So I guess it's taking his intestines out. So it's a bit like the Mayans, isn't it? Who were also Phoenician. Phoenicified. I'm just wondering what's going on here. He's got many hands and he's just killed Goat's Head Man, or don't know, look at his feet. Anyone? Answers on a postcard, please. Wow. I haven't got postcards. I think just comment instead. Kingage, and he got a Pegasus and a pair of 70s platforms. I'm liking this guy. Do you dance? Yeah, I bet you do. I bet like Soul Train, aren't you? Yeah, I am. So levitation, elephants flying, and demons with horns, and that strange death cult we've witnessed 1,000 times on Flat Earth British. Explanations, please. Explanations. What are these stones? Tops of tumps. There's something inside these, isn't there? Yes, there's something inside these. And the mud came in and it covered them. What caused the mud? Loads of things, guys. Loads of things. There's the serpent, which is a waveform which travels through this place. Many thoughts of how this could happen. Okay, it could be that Mount Meru, north and south. We've done about all of that. It's all in that book. Mount Meru, north and south, could flip, and the 4 angels could weaken, and so causing a realignment, if you like, or better after. But at the meantime, you get a waveform, which is a vibrational quality, which is a resonance, which turns everything to mush and shatters this place beyond recognition. Everything. There's plasma discharge events, and that's from comets. Comets agitate the EM, causing large plasma discharge events. And there's water. So we think that the Phoenicians, okay, with their watery wickedness, sink us. Or the oceans rise, the ocean beds rise, and the land falls. And then vice versa. Okay, Atlantis was supposed to be in there, in the middle of the Atlantic. Not there no more. Is it at the bottom of the Atlantic? Anyway, so he's got furry, big bollocks, the size of trees, or they at his knees, but they're not, are they? What are they, guys? They're 2 giant balls that he's protecting with the X code. Okay, this idol knows the X code. This one has got giants. This is a Titan, isn't it? Okay, that's a really unusual one. Floating a mummy in the lake. So they do mummification, okay. I'm guessing that's coffee. I don't know. So that's rhubarb. Rhubarb. So what else we got? Clematis. I love clematis. It's beautiful. That is in the summer, covering fence if you got one. There's rhubarbia vernum as well. The big rhubarb leaves, guys. I don't like rhubarb. I don't. It's one of the only things I don't like. I like any food meat. Yeah, generally, except I'm really fussy now because of the meat thing going on. Like, I don't like it. And celery, and they both look like one another and nothing like one another. It's really weird. Bees are important. I've been beekeeping since the summer. Part-time job thing. So, help bees. My, they're big, aren't they? So I have posted ananas, or pineapples, the size of human beings in a Lead van der Haar atlas. And these are not looking too bad. Interesting. What about that? What do you think he is? So it's when the fleet turns up, eh? Sweet bird of paradise. So sloths are weird, isn't they? They're alright, aren't they? I don't mind them. I like squirrels. I want a pet squirrel, pet black one, a fluffy one. Yeah, they'd be wicked. Because we got a rabbit, eh? My son has. But squirrels are wicked too. I had a friend, little squirrel, when I was in school. Sad story. Don't ask me about it. But yeah, I like squirrels. Like animals. Cats are nice. Do you like cats? What about dogs? Yeah, they're better people, aren't they? So they got giant bells. So either it's like Kung Fu Hustle, where you get that woman who's got the lion's roar. You know about the lion's roar, don't you? It's another vibrational quality used as a weapon. You can also do it with them musical instruments that they use in Kung Fu Hustle. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's the best film ever. No, it really, really is. It's brilliant. I love Kung Fu Hustle. I've watched it about 20 times. It's not violent, it's funny. It's really cool. Well, it is violent, it's exceptionally violent, but I mean, it's in a... Oh, you'd have to watch it. Anyway, so she picks up a bell, and she shouts into an augment, and it literally kills everyone. What are they doing with the bell in the background? They're not going to get that bell up that fucking ladder. Come on. It's a wooden ladder. Explanations, please, on a postcard. That's interesting. Elephants are cool too, aren't they? They never forget. So basically, if you went to the zoo and you was like a horrible school kid, and you was horrible to like an elephant, or said something to an elephant, the next year you go on that school trip to Bristol Zoo, okay, the elephant's gonna have you bad. Okay, it's gonna water you down. So I had an unusual experience when I was at school with a school trip. Went to Bristol Zoo, probably about 1983, with a school trip. You know, my mates, and it started when I went through the door. All the monkeys on the Monkey Island started going absolutely berserko, like hysterical. So I'm like, well, that's fucking freaky. It's like a horror film. So we move on, and then the capybaras started getting really feisty and stuff, and then they had two white tigers, and they started growling at me. So my mate Todder, who's almost in tears by now, by the way, says to me, "It's you, Matt. They're bugged by you." And I'm like, well, I don't know. And I'm feeling like a bit freaked out by it myself. I had this feeling like something was on me. I was like, what the fuck is on me that they can see? Felt a bit weird as well that day. So all's well now. But that day, almost, I think the reptile house I was pretty neutral in, I'm not sure, but oh yeah, all the animals freaked the fuck out. It scared me. It scared everybody else. I don't know what it was to this day. But a few weird things happen with animals as well. They just come out of the blue. They ever love me to bits, and you know, can I come on with you? You're really cool. My owner's weird. I don't like my owner. My owner just touches me and he's weird. So I like you. Will you take me home? You're cool. Happens quite a lot. You'd be surprised how many animals want me to adopt them. But I can't adopt all animals, and I can't save every bunny rabbit on earth. That would be possible. But I would like to. That's star thoughts. If you're wondering what we're looking at, it's pretty depictions of star thoughts of Sedan across Europe, and they're pretty beautiful, and they're all different shapes, and they're all water meanders or near what will be, I've noticed, an oxbow lake because this will be a lake soon. I wonder if there's forethought into the the recourse of the river in the future, because all of them are on meanders, I've noticed. Is that important? But yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, the star fort. We've been talking about these for a couple of years now. Myself, other people in this field, Philip Dracinin, who's, New Earth, and everybody who started talking about this a few years back now. And everybody else, since. It's been just like an amazing subject. What we think? Well, we think this. We had a discovery that the Romans or the Phoenicians put them there. In the 1600s, there was a general which sent a letter to a Polish royal saying, these things hanging around the place, these bastions or whatever they are, I think we should use them for military purposes. I think we should definitely make better purpose of these things. So this Polish king or emperor gives them permission to tart up all of the star forts in this area, because they are muddied out and not used, because they have been affected by something earlier on. So the Romans built them. They are impregnable. The cannonballs that are invented for the same period just ping off them, or in some cases in America it's made with really porous stone, and the cannonball just absorbs into it like I don't know, that stuff that you press flowers into that looks like sponge. Yeah, flowers, dry flowers, that stuff just goes into that sort of thing. Anyway, so we think that they were built and they could withstand electromagnetic weaponry such as fascist type technology, 5G, etc. Okay, because they're the stealth bomber of forts. They're far too advanced for the thinking at the time, but they are laced in with sacred geometry, and they're fractal by nature. Okay, which is important, because in this field, if you want to read into that book, we think everything's fractal by nature, and the geometry displays everything, the ether tech, everything just comes out of the ether, even the information, which Happy Hats tap into and more. So we postulated, could they project the luminaries, because they're star-shaped, and there's many, many star-shaped. As many as the luminaries in the sky? Maybe not. But they are high technology, and they never told us about these in school. Okay, at all. Okay, they're called bastions, and they're star forts. Okay. And they're everywhere. I mean, Britain has a shortage. So that's a trench line, and when it was utilised in Luxembourg, which has an immense star fort, I covered it on my last channel a couple of years back, and a mud-flooded environment, hills, pits and valleys, which we think events were responsible for. I mean, I never look at the countryside in the same way again. If you're going through Devon or even South Wales, you've got these gently rolling hills, and I think, was it always that way, or was it just really, really sort of flat and plainy and woods and foresty like Europe was? And this advent have bubbled it all up, like you see with Somatics experiment, when they put a vibrational quality through, say, mercury or sand or a plate of metal iron filings, and you'll see this stuff react like pits and valleys. Many experiments out there, and you'll see what I mean. When these experiments are carried out and then it's over with, it just looks exactly like the topography of the Earth. It's just the most incredible thing. Add a few giant plasma discharge points, twin points, ka-ching. So yeah, they're trying to attribute these to the people of the 1600s built in them everywhere. Okay, if you don't know about them, this is a good little book for them. Okay, there's endless depictions in here, so 70. Let's just go through. So, highly interesting. And they stop mud flood because they got stealth bomber walls. They have satellites as well, so they look like a device. Like, this is the guts. The water comes in, the tech cranks up, and this thing just outwardly with a blast or a zap, taking out everybody that tries to come near it. They seem to keep the elites inside, and outside is always like, this. In Pierre van der Haar atlases, you'll see it's always mud outside. They have a few little new trees. St Quentin. Giant battle there in the First World War that ended it on the canal. Is it there? To there. Yeah, maybe. Ends in the First World War there. Ham. I just mentioned that. So anyway, with Ham, is this something to do with Ham in the Bible? Like, we don't have no bad in Ham. Tottenham. West Ham, or maybe even Ham itself. Nylon or Nyon. Oh. Beautiful paintings, though, aren't they? Compagne. Vibri. Nice little bell. What kind of bell is that? So, almost there. Saint Louis, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, that's nice. But it looks like Venice, full on Phoenician, and it is... I don't even know. B? Is this an R? Barris? 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 I don't even know, guys. If you can tell me. Because this bit's a bit messed up. I wish I knew. Oh, they got a nice smacking great canal going through the place. Look at all this. What's this? What would be the purpose of them? There's no light on them. They're not decorative. They're Phoenician whales. Energy gatherers? There they are there. No lights, just them. Not interesting. But again, looks just like Venice. Phoenician port. So that's pretty good. I'm going to move on because I don't want this 2-hour vlog. We're on 7:15 now. Oh dear. This is just another crazy good depiction. Just have a little quick look through this. The room. Okay. One of their crazy possessions back in the Middle Ages. I'll give you the links. You spend more time on it. But you can mag up right into it. And check out what's going on. Not that I can see much, but it looks a bit of jousting going on, which is foolish. It's a foolish way to spend your time. So, what we've got here is another one. Zip through this quick. There's a point I'm trying to make with this one, okay, is this views of English and Welsh churches, okay. So it's late 1600s, and what you get is not one has a path leading up to it. They all seem mud flood affected, and there's not one cemetery. You see, this seems buried and a bit destroyed. So Canterbury, there's not one cemetery, okay, so there's no one dying, or they're just putting them inside, or are the cemeteries there under mud, okay, and it's all of them. St Paul's. It looks a bit different, doesn't it? Unless they just thought they need to just leave every single feature out of the picture, but they put the mud in the odd shrub in. No. So none have a cemetery. So they weren't burying the dead in cemeteries in this period because they are not churches and places of worship. They are technasmia devices that were changed into places to worship Phoenicians. You know, this is good evidence that they are nothing to do with what they used to be, or what they say. No cemeteries, no paths. Stately homes sort of projects next to them. This whole thing is like a complex. They do multiple purposes. Giant technasmia devices. Harmonic resonance. I bet this was what was coming out of this thing. Used for good and bad. Could be like sirens. Or like 5G. No, I'm going to spend too much time on these because I never upload this video, but what it is, these are books of, I love my emblematas, and this is another book of emblematas, and it's of biblical depictions, etc. from 1706, okay? Church meditations, devotional calendars, emblems, genealogy, okay? So, it's always telling you the same, but I thought this depiction was quite amazing. If I can just... excuse me, that's better. Is Black Sun. But you've got the sun in the sky, you've got this other black sun that's shown up, and multiple comets. The moon's there, but they're not they're comets. That one's coming that way, that one's coming that way, and these fiery things. The sea's coming up, and the land's going down, and everyone's getting to caves. I see this a lot. I seen a painting yesterday by what was the artist? Anyway, it was a painting of Napoleon's apparent last, famous battle at Waterloo. With Wellington and, Bush, the Germans turning up, or the Prussians at the last minute saving the day. Anyway, the painting had a plasma discharge event on it. So anyway, 1703, look at this world depicted. So why are they drawing the world and are actually building it like that if it didn't exist at the time? They have the geometry to be able to do it. So 1702, Phoenicians in a room, looks like the Amber Room, full of paintings. And what they brought with them from across the water. The watery people, the sea people. Where they came from originally, not in here. Not in here with us. Oh, another Annunciation going on. Is that Mary again? Oh no, it's Birth of Christ. That happens at this time. Everything in the Middle Ages depicts the Romans living side by side with people from the Middle Ages. The two times are together. Like, nothing's changed since the Bronze Age. As in, papal people with fish hats are exactly the same as they are today. And they got Romans in multiple depictions. And this happening quite a bit. So, whatever, everyone getting wiped out and massacred. Just seems that shit goes down all the time in these books. Phoenicians, the usual thing, but wow, look at this style of architecture. And why are the Phoenicians so spooky in their style? It's creepy. Couldn't say, but some happenings. Oh, look at that for a depiction. So all of the fruit and the flowers from the Barker site pouring out here. Because he brought the seed stocks with him after the event. I bet fauna, maybe the Voynich manuscript is a representation of what this place was like before all the events. Maybe them plants that no one knows what they are in there. Was you on this place? And then people on that strangeness. Look at this. The candles. Oh, I guess someone did get up there. Massive ladder. I guess so. And you always get this, where they've been washed out, tree roots be made visible. This can only happen with water coming rushing through, guys. This is what exposed tree roots. We see the same thing, years and years after the New Missouri event of 1811 through to 12. The photographs, like 30 years later, are still showing tree roots washed out from the event there. So, stormy seas. So, I've got some amazing depictions for you all today, guys. Plenty of them here. I'll zip through this one quick, but look at this place. Okay. But, like, time. So, biblical emblemata of the usual carnage that you see going down. Like the temples there on fire. Look, it's on fire. It wasn't me. It was not me. Never is. See, if that happened in this day and age, like imagine if you were in, say, London or something, and a guy glowing like that walked down the street. They shoot him fucking dead in a minute. It's like, don't be glowing around here. You wouldn't have any glowy people in this day and age. You just freak everyone out. They think that they had like some sort of, radiation going on. Well, they have. They're radiating, but handful. He's glowing. Shoot him. His glow's still going, sir. Shoot him again. No, sir, it's still going. What you are finding this one, it's another one just like it. I'll link it to you. It's mass animal die-offs during this period. Like all of them. Is something wrong? Why can't they breathe? And the serpents. Always with the serpents. Moses' stick and a serpent. A serpent round a stick. Electromagnetics. Let's have a look here. Wow. So they're crazy on their arches, aren't they? And they're like, you know, you get Moses. I made a mistake. I said Noah. Okay. They're not the same dudes, I realise this. But yeah, Noah hasn't got a laser beam shooting out of his head as far as I know. Might have. Don't know. It's a long time ago. Got a picture? Send me a photograph of Noah. This is the Garden of Eden, I guess. Well, we all live side by side with the animals. Pop through a portal. Some sacred magic symbol. Hold it there. Peacocks are cool, aren't they? So Adam and Eve, they got no clothes. They haven't had, you know, any knowledge downloaded of how to keep warm at night. But from Adam and Eve in chewing that apple, it took no time at all for humanity to just, you know go the wrong way. And ends up getting wiped out by flood. But it's all good, because the Phoenicians are here in their boats. For, you know, because it's all them. It's all them. Don't worry, get up this tree, you'll be fine. While the Phoenicians keep pouring their water from above. From above, where the water is. And below. Water above, water below. Just like the Bible said. And then you get the Tower of Babel. So what is it? Well, it's a gadget, isn't it? It's got this like exoskeleton at the outside that's like swirling. It looks every single bit a device, a gadget. This thing could have been a giant 5G tower. They could have been trying to avert some sort of event. This could have been saving humanity. There's a massive emphasis on it. Or trying to think that they can get up to the dome and get out before it's reset, because they've had a tip-off. See, plenty had tip-offs. Look, apparently God tipped off Noah. That's how we survived. That's how we're here. Apparently a tip-off. Humanity is down to a tip-off. Yeah, Noah, I'm gonna kill everybody. Or everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody, but not you. Really, why not me? Oh, you're just a top bloke. I've always been a fan. Really? Yeah. Your kids are a bit wayward, but like, yeah, you're alright. Noah, I'm gonna kill everybody. There's no one in the whole of reality or on this place who is as cool as you, Noah. I'd really take you. It's not something to be a homage, this. But yeah, thanks, God. Can I survive? Can we all survive? Is that what it's about, being saved? Save you from what? They're not specific, are they? To be saved. How can you be saved when you're already lost at sea? Upside down. Outside of inside, inside of outside. How can you be lost at sea? So yeah, these are pretty good. I wonder what that does. Burning big pyre. And the Phoenicians never put in their plaques. I'm thinking that they're not name plaques. I'm thinking they're like mirrors. Not mirrors, or portals even. Anyway, I'm going to just move on a bit, because this is going to be the longest vlog in history. I know I always say that, but I gotta get on. And I'm thirsty as hell. Heaven and hell. So basically, what they're saying is, don't do that bit shit. You're going to end up in, not where we tell you you're going, where we tell you you're going to end up, which is a fiery place in another dimension. The guy with a pitchfork is going to stab you in the ass. And if you're Adolf Hitler, insert a pineapple 3 times a day. Apparently. Okay. I'm not buying any of that. Ow. So yeah, there's the mud-flooded, taken out world and survivors roaming around. Doesn't take them long though. It doesn't. Generation or so. They've already got the books and everything set up to bring it all in again. They know exactly the plan to roll out. Just needs cleaning up. Replanting. clean all of their buildings up. Free masonry. All nice and inherited. Ka-ching. Ooh, there's a big fat dirty there. Cool. Anyway, another one. This one I'm not going to read any of, but it's a brilliant book. I know a few of you will like this. Who's into Alchemy? Me. Rules of Grand Elixir. Okay, of the philosophers, and it's the secret of secrets. We've covered it in different books, but it's about the elixir of life, and it is alchemical knowledge. And in English, from I689 to I90, I690. Okay, so do enjoy. I'm not going to read anything of it because I need a drink. But it's I'd love to be able to cover some of this. Some amazing stuff in there. Some amazing clues. Monatomic gold, mercury, all of it is all in there. So this is weird. Great spirit, spit. So is it? Great spit of the Order of the Vile Wig. Now we know from my vlog the other day that we get a wig in the 18th century if you've got a nasty case of the clap. So the vile wig is you got a wig because you've got a really bad gonorrhea or whatever, syphilis I say, and they give you a badge, so you have to wear it if you're an elite. You still get this, it's no problemo, but you've got like a wig and an upside down happy hat and Masonic handshake, bag of money, an eagle wings open with a fasces, don't you know, and the pair, which we still haven't established, but I do recognise pentagram. Anyway, which one we got here? All CNI, the pair code again. Napoleon poking someone in the knee, public. The sword. So, happy hats are definitely a thing here then. Yeah, it's interesting, huh? Interesting decode. Let's move on. So this got passed to me this morning by a sub, Rosa. Thank you for this. Thank you very much. And it is in the news. Apparently somebody's... How many Chilean miners was there? Was there? Was that many? Alright, they got them out though. It was all happy ending. They got a little thing to come get them out, didn't they? Yeah. So it was 2 double Taurus numbers. It was 33. It was orange. 33. It was their number. Again, another one of their numbers. Another 2 opposing Tauruses. This is 38. So, Chilean plane en route to Antarctica disappears with 38 on board. Military plane carrying 38 people on board has disappeared en route to Antarctica. Chile Air Force say. What are they up to, guys? It's alright, she's gone down in Drake's Passage somewhere. She'll tune up. So anyway, Hercules transporter went off from Punta Arenas, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Lost contact. Those missing include 17 crew, 21 passengers. So, it's a pretty established website. They always have these things like seconds after, don't they? All nicely. So, who's on board? Anyone important? 3 passengers, Chilean soldiers. 2 are civilians employed by the engineering and construction firm. Prosa. Who else we got? A couple of students from Magdalena's University. And 15 air passengers, which we're just going to go there just cause. Just cause. They have permission to go there. It's crazy. Be good, wouldn't it, if you get permission to go past 60th and we'd all go down to Antarctica, but you wouldn't be allowed to go where you want anyway, because you've got to stay in the jurisdiction of the country that is that area, like if it was Norwegian, British, what have you, and then we've got to have an official from their place as well, all the way, everywhere. You can't go nowhere on your own. So somebody said in my comments yesterday, concerning Antiquitech and the Age of Tartaria, Golden Age, Mary Poppins is a film jam-packed with clues. We've seen hundreds of depictions of people flying around in France with umbrellas. Could this be electromagnetic technology in a time with more EM? Is Mary a witch? Well, I tell you what, it's quite an interesting narrative. The umbrella's name is Parrot. It has a head on it, it talks. Quite like this. Voice of Mary Poppins. So she was apparently real. Apparently real. I never knew this. So what was her real name? Okay. Was Moorhead. What colour was Mary's umbrella? Was it purple? Yeah, it was purple. I guessed that well. What animal was on the end? Was a parrot. Parrots are interesting as well. Who was the first choice for Mary Poppins? Was Eliza Doolittle? Was Audrey Hepburn? No, it wouldn't have been the same. So, is Mary Poppins a goddess? How did Mary Poppins die? Okay, what did Mary Poppins say? Superfracalcageristicexpialidocious. I love that. Okay, and where did Mary Poppins die? She was unhappy. Died in 1996. She was a real person, you know, apparently. Okay. Is she a goddess? Or is she a witch? She has black shiny hair, like a Dutch wooden doll, rather thin, large hands and feet, and peering blue eyes. She's vain and slightly conspicuous, and always travels with a carpet bag. Oh yeah, what's that with that carpet bag? Camp bed and parra-headed umbrella. Anyway, so she's a real person, apparently. While the Magician Adventures of Mary Poppins are clearly fictional, Travers later said to the character herself was based on a real person. Is Mary Poppins magic? So she's a nanny, looking after children. But for the wealthy, I believe. So that's interesting. And she's got an umbrella that flies around. It's got this head on it. It's really cool. So any more on Mary Poppins and any ideas that we can expand upon this, please comment. Okay. She flies around with the umbrella. She's real, they just said. Okay. Okay, chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. More pics, and I'm gonna go because it's 7:30. So I missed all the pictures I was going to show you of St. Petersburg. So this is that canal, and this is the Russian style of architecture, and they all go really, really low, Tatarian, and then the imperialistic westernization idea of what Russia should look like. Okay. And it's an immense star fort. They've got the Port Kronstadt. You come out with the swamp, same as London, Washington, and stacks of other cities. It's built on a swamp, which poses the idea of putting all that stuff on a swamp anyway. But it's the water, isn't it? Star forts, meanders, water breaks for their immense star footage. Excuse me, so thirsty. Talking about 2 hours now, so yeah, look at all these star forts, the whole thing. Whew. And look at this rotunda here. Wow. Yet, Crimean War, the British fleet come up the Baltic, park their ass in front of the window of the Tsar, and he's like, I'm not having any of this. They'll spoil my shiny new stuff. What about the Emperor's new clothes? Has he got like an invisibility suit on? Is that what it is? So here's St. Peter's. What do you think about it, guys? The Emperor's new clothes might be more deeper meaning, like chucking the baby out with the bath water. That's got deeper meaning, hasn't it? Yeah, it has, hasn't it? There's many meanings people say, but they don't look into the deeper meaning. So I think this is Tatarians getting fucked over by Phoenicians, are supported by the Orthodox. And it's like, you can see, they got cool silks. They're all Phoenician. Tatarians. And they're being, like, kicked out. And there it is, Peter the Great's original house. It's a Technasmia device, a Technasmia portal. And it's disappeared from history. Because we've only got a pencil drawing of it, so it must have existed, yeah? And there it is from the front. So, the Winter Palace, before it was rebuilt as that amazing thing, because pencil drawing dictates it. Excuse me. Now, as I said, if you go through Europe at this late 1800s, you can see amazing architecture. Okay. And signs of free energy, technosmia. Excuse me, as you can see. The portals here. Energy gatherers. Step technology, the columns, resonators, all the way up, all the way up. Boom, boom. All of it. But you never see a soul. There's just nobody around. Look at that for a technosmia port. And there. Wow. That was some device. Okay. They all had alterations in the last couple of hundred years, or since the events. Huge doors, and then they put in this little door for people. Poses a question: why did they build this in the first place? Everything's built for giants. Everything. People are like this big, and then they got to build all of this, and then they always got to put the dome on top. Maybe it's because Peter the Great. Maybe Peter the Great was short ass, but he's a Tartarian. He's 7 foot. He's building a Phoenician port, though. Apparently. Or is he digging it out of the mud? Look at this. Under the Onion Dome. Technosmia. It's 10 to 6. Wow. They're nuts on their statues, aren't they? So, that's all one. Looks active device. That's amazing. This is all Venice, I guess. We've got one person, 2 people. 2 people on a gondola. All this is underwater. There's a couple of ghosts. Nobody about. Not really. We love a good door arch on Flat Earth British. That's completely different to that side. Something's removed. Something's removed there. Okay. A couple of people ghosting. Phoenician Giants pot. Could be a well top. They're mad on wells. A thing for baths and wells. And columns. Which that is. Yeah, it's a phoenix, isn't it? Resurgi. Rising from the ashes. Build another civilization again. Well, they're 2 interesting pillars. Water comes up to here at times, and they just made it so. So Venice with no one at home, and its beautiful artworks. Look at that for a gate. Wow. Number 134. Look at that over the door. Oh, it's the ever-present seashells. And look at this, guys. Just going backwards. Okay, let's zip through some more. And I'm going to come back to you shortly. Wish you all adieu. And have a little chat and round up. Hope you've enjoyed my vloggage for today. I would have been back sooner, but things have been, as you know. Head fuck, what is that? Well, it sees a cross, multi-dimensional, but oof. Crazy stuff, guys. Look at this for a church. Look at these little arches blocked up. 6, 7, marble. I don't need all these dudes looking down. I feel uncomfortable. All marble. And the ever all important fontage. And Venice. A few people about there. I think that's the Bridge of Sighs, or the Rialta, and Bridge of Sighs, and that is that pyramid they're all going into to survive a flood, because beaver maketh dams, and they could survive floods, and they can stay underwater for some time, protecting the inhabitants and producing air. Yeah, they definitely put flooding in mind for these productions of these. Time and again. This. Still, sparse population, no doubt about it. Oh, God. Huge doors. What's the point? It's nothing here. There's that stuff taken out and it's been splattered a bit, hasn't it? So, can't say what happened. War. Where's Italy? Any boats? Any people? Pigeons? Nada. Zip. Nip. Fuck all. That's good. So I could be going through these for ages. So Venice. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on. I was going to go through some of these because they are quite epic. Got some here. And these are also St. Petersburg and Venice, some of the statues. I think that's Moscow. Yeah. And the Kremlin. Still getting no people. And these great devices. And there's our bell. Now there's cannons in St. Petersburg that are too big for humans. You've seen them on my channel many times on John Levy's and others. Apparently men are supposed to be putting cannonballs in this giant thing. Would they ever for that? And what are the small cannonballs for? And look, this is a man in there. He's about that high. So who's carrying this? Do you think 1, 2, 3, 8 men could carry that? I don't. So it's built like giant cannons. You get the giant bell. Well, the Liberty Bell's cracked in the very same way. Seems as something happened. Either the bells were cracked deliberately, or there was an event. Now they say that the clock tower collapsed. This fell from the top and cracked on the way down. I am not buying that one bit. And that happened. And it managed to perfectly land on top of that wall. Or did they lift the bell up and build that wall underneath? And then put the fragment in front? How do you found such an item? You produce such an item? How did you get the item up there? To this clock tower, which is crazy. And there's our Bell clock tower, which is no longer there. They got a smaller, crappier version. And these statues. The Phoenicians on the shield again. They're not buried, them little bollards. Look at this. The curtains unveiling a plasma-y double eagle. But no peeps. So that's quite amazing, isn't it? Antiquitech devices, opera houses or whatever they are out in the open. No population for a city of its size. Always the ever-present ladder. We see that a lot, don't we? And Romans. A Roman arch from the presence of the Rome and offs. Check that over the tower. What are these? There's no wires. Free energy in the age of Tartaria. So, I think that's it. I did have a load more, but these are sort of running out of time now. But these are quite cool. Look at this church. It's in England. It's I'm not sure. I think it might be Westminster actually. But there's an older one. The buttresses are still there, so going deeper. and everything's smashed, and they seem to be digging out the mud. The whole thing looks like it's been underwater. Never St. Petersburg. Look at these department stores, guys. The size of the windows, doors, the statues, the whole thing. It's insane. And these are in America. Some lovely shroppy images. I believe this one is probably Detroit. Everything buried. Mound City, which is St. Louis. Excuse me, Kansas City, which had everything removed and levelled, the mounds, the hills. And these mud flooders could be seen in every city in the Western world, Cape Town. And these mud hills, they were in Kansas City, as I said. And also, excuse me, bloody hell, Boston, they had exactly the same, Bunker Hill, and they removed them. It's mud. Vast amounts of mud. This amount of mud, that deep, is removed. Plain wide. So much we don't know, guys. So much to learn. So I'm going to come back because my phone's going like the clappers. That's Bunker Hill. I think that is actually in Boston, that one. And there's the old Italian world, Amsterdam. Bunko booths, colour. Can't believe horses bloody pull them trams. It seems very cruel. And there you can see the removal of the mud from Kansas City. Okay. Right, I'm coming back. A little look at a couple more, and this is also the removal of the mud. You can see it's higher in the buildings. Okay. Do not build buildings next to mud like that. You need to retain it, don't fall in, you see. Same up here. So they're digging out vast amounts of mud. And this is the photographic record of it. Okay, and Tataria. A beautiful image. Brussels Hall. Yeah, I love that style. It's much better than that Greco-Romano stuff and of this stuff. It's like music. It's like Nasmia. It's like music, guys. It's beautiful. Look at it. Oh, I'm leaving it at that. That's my last image. I'm very sweet. That's me. Firebreak. Manica. Back. Survived another day. Just on the realm. So. We'll be looking into Peter the Great. He's a giant, and he's built like all of that cool stuff, Winter Palace, Hermitage, everything else from his log cabin. Okay, his uncle or his replacement's also a giant. He's 7 footers, and he's a Tartar. So please comment, say what you think about all that. Okay, and St. Petersburg in general. Okay, because we've been looking into it for years now. It's anomalous. It's anomalous. A load of alchemical crazy stuff. Don't know what to make of any of that. Please comment on all of that, and curio and pictures, and that's been me. So thank you very much, everybody. Make sure to contribute to Great Fat British Think Tank. MartinLiga7@gmail.com. Any ideas, any you want to put in, your inputs to what you think is going on with all of this subject, please do. Feel free. And the book. Okay, in material form, Martin Liga. Okay, let's have a little look here, shall we? Okay, so praise for Martin Liga from Febage, and we got one from John Levy. I read them on a previous vlog. So, one from Mellage. Let's have a look at this. Martin Liga is a modern-day historian, YouTube presenter, speaker of truth, and total paradigm shatterer. In this first literal offering, Martin takes you on literally on a major walk on the wild side. So I can say that again. This book is part 1 of the new author's work throughout, which he provides us with uncontributable evidence, proof that our Earth is in fact our Earth realm, whilst dismantling the common historical narrative or I can't even see. Or our so-called past. Sorry for fucking that up. I can't even see it. The proverbial world is about to be totally obliterated eternally, and with new eyes, the obvious in plain sight will once again align our senses. Be prepared. Best read while seated. Buckle in. Thanks. These variofocals are really terrible, and I gotta get to the optician. So if you want to order my book, okay, I'll show you now. I got an order site here. It's out digitally on the 1st of January, but you can pick up a physical copy right now. And it is here on Beauty Books. So there it is. Okay. Although you don't have to pre-order anymore because it's out, so you can get it through there. And there is this as well for a digital version, and it's going to look like that. Okay, and that's Amazon and Kindle. And then it's off to bookshops then apparently in the new year. And my website, in case any of you don't know, there's a massive resource on here for information, books, maps, you name it. It's bloody brilliant. So let's just have a flick through. Right, you go. And this is all the stuff that I do. Quite a bit of it. I've got like a fan site actually as well, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. Mind you, I haven't been able to share on Twitter because I'm blocked from YouTube, so it doesn't do the sharing facility, and I forgot the password, and I don't want to reset all of my passwords all over again. Mufflets, Taria, Comets, Technasmia, Starforts, Fasces, Antiquitech, Airships, Giants, Resources, Maps and Words. Okay, check the resources off. Glasses. Something going on with glasses, isn't there, and them as well. If you Google, I think I mean opticians and dentists. If you Google Alan Watts, you know, the philosopher, Google his coat of arms for his family, the Watts coat of arms. It's got a giant pair of glasses on a tree. So there's books, okay, Phoenician origins of Britain, proof that they were here, and Phoenicia is where we're standing upon, and Gallica libraries, Vatican archive, 15,000 releases on there for you to go through. Maps galore, miscellaneous, my favourite artists, links to everything we need, medics, bird's eye view maps, etc. And it's Lee's new site, FEB Incognito, which is his backup channel, and all the other guys. Okay, Paul, Flatwater Films, Mike, Mud up in lovely Sweden, Niven, Conspiracy Arus, Wise Up, all legends, all there, all part of the gang. So that's me. I'm British, so do not despair. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to try and do my best. Okay, if it does, like, things just don't work out and I disappear, you know why. I got to go and try and basically survive and save my ass, because that's what we're doing here on this realm, isn't it? We're surviving day to day. Well, some of us are. Truth, and let's fight on. Okay, for truth and more information. So coming up to Christmas now, we've got the new year coming. I'm coming to 7,000 subs, and my channel should come back and books out. So we are in good state. Okay, to push forward positively. What do you think? Okay. That's me for today. Peace and love, guys. Be good. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.